there's a theme in Queens, and I know Nas is a part of this. Queens get the money. Sorry, Jay-Z, we win again. I just had to rub that in.
Yesterday, Wednesday, a state board rejected the Times Square casino bid from Jay-Z in Roc Nation and those companies that I mentioned.
Did I lie? Did I not tell you them crackers was not finna get Jay-Z no damn casino in New York City? Did I not tell y'all that? This man done would've took a loan against his house because they wouldn't even give him a loan to go and put a bid in on the casino because he had the owner of Caesar's Palace and then he had an ex-federal informant and mob ties down there trying to put a bid on a casino to bring it to Broadway.
Jay-Z is heated right now. And can you blame him? He put his name, his billionaire brand, and all that power behind a flashy Times Square casino project, only for the city to slam the brakes before it even left the ground.
With their decision, as they obviously voted against the casino.
You know it. We met the standard and then some, and the only one with courage to stand up is the governor and the mayor appointees, and everybody else runs and hides.
Then, just days later, NAS, yes, the same NAS who cooked him with ether back in the day, gets the green light for his $5 billion Queens casino plan. The timing is way too perfect. To make it worse, Queens Borough President Donovan Richards straight up rubbed it in, telling reporters, Queens gets the money. Sorry, Jay-Z, we win again. That's not just shade, that's a public victory lap at Jay's expense. The streets are buzzing, fans are connecting dots, and everyone's whispering the same thing. This isn't just business. This feels like old beef catching fire again. Think back to the brutal Takeover versus Ether days, and you'll get why people are calling this a betrayal. Jay wanted his Times Square casino to be the crown jewel of New York. Billions on the line, a whole gambling empire on Broadway. But the community wasn't having it. The Broadway League came out swinging, residents pushed back, and the advisory committee basically said, nope, not here.
The future is not something you wait for, it's something you build. It lives in the hands of the doers, the dreamers, the people who refuse to stand still. Resorts World is more than a casino. It's energy, it's opportunity, it's hope for the borough. A second chance for some, a first step for many. It's where community gathers, not just to win, but to build a future once imagined. This isn't just business, this is legacy. And now, it's time to invest in us. Because the future doesn't ask for permission, it moves with purpose. From our chairman to our newest employee, we're committed to Queens. And in Queens, the future is now.
And just like that, Jay's dream of a Times Square empire went up in smoke, let's be real. Jay is not used to taking L's in public like this. His whole image is built on always winning, always being 10 steps ahead. To see him get shut down before the final round, that's not just embarrassing. That's a crack in the mogul mask he's been selling for decades. What cuts deeper? Jay wanted Manhattan, the lights, the tourists, the big spotlight. Instead, the city slammed the door on him. And just days later, NAS walked in with Queens and got the green light.
What was your thoughts when you heard the song?
This motherfucker, he's going crazy. This motherfucker going crazy. Oh, yo.
This wasn't just a no for Jay. It was the perfect setup for a revenge story. And if there's one thing about Hav, it's that he never forgets a loss. While Jay's Times Square project was crashing, NAS was stacking a win right in his backyard. Queens Resorts World at Aqueduct, with NAS backing, just got the approval to move forward. And this isn't some small play. This is a $5 billion powerhouse ready to shake the city. Queens is turning into a mini Vegas. Live table games, blackjack, poker, craps, a full-on concert hall, even a sports academy with NBA legend Kenny the Jet Smith attached. This isn't just a casino, it's a full entertainment empire.
Sense of how you made this beat. I was at one of those conventions, like a How Can I Be Down or something like that, and I think Nas' album had came out. And every car that was driving by was playing Whose World Is This? And I, you know, and the pianos and the drums and the whole cadence of that record had me like, yo, this is amazing. I want to make a song like that.
And NAS, he's not just a face on the flyer. He's got real equity and has been hands-on shaping the whole vision. When he spoke on it, you could tell this wasn't just another hustle. He called it a win for the community, promising opportunities for families and a path to build the next generation of leaders. Then he dropped the mic saying, clearly with this project, the world is ours. That's a cold flex. And the timing? Brutal. Jay gets denied in Manhattan, and NAS steps up in Queens like the hometown hero. Fans are already clowning Jay online, saying NAS just ethered him again.
Nas or Jay-Z?
Nas. I'm gonna go with Jay.
From Queens, gotta go Nas. Okay.
I say Nas.
Jay-Z or Nas?
Jay-Z.
You taking a shot already? Easy to me. Jay-Z?
Nas all day. Let's go.
Jay-Z. Nas or Jay-Z? Nas. Damn. Jay-Z. Nas or Jay?
But this time with business receipts. On paper, it's two rappers turned moguls chasing billion-dollar deals. But for Jay, this one cuts deeper. It's not just losing a casino bid. It's losing the NAS. For the Brooklyn mogul who built his legacy on flipping hustle into empire, that sting hits different. Jay has always sold himself as the mastermind who outsmarts everyone. But NAS has a habit of showing up right when people start counting him out and making Jay look anything but untouchable. Remember when Jay tried to clown NAS on Takeover, calling him irrelevant and washed? And what did NAS do? He came back with ether and dragged Jay through the mud, flipping the whole narrative. This casino drama feels almost the same. Jay sets up a flashy Times Square empire, only to get denied. Then NAS slides in with Queens, the underdog borough, and snatches the win. And to really understand why this cuts so deep, you gotta rewind to where it all began. Back in the mid-90s, NAS was already New York's golden child. He dropped Illmatic in '94 and instantly became the one everybody respected. Jay, meanwhile, was still fighting for his spot.
Now, Super Ugly, at this point, I feel like the kid gloves were off. And it was just like every man for himself, no holds barred.
Reasonable Doubt dropped in '96. Legendary now. But at the time, it didn't even crack like that. And the drama started small, but personal. Jay wanted NAS in his Dead Presidents video, but NAS never showed. Instead, Jay just sampled his voice for the hook. Jay didn't even ask. He just sampled Nas's voice, and Nas was not thrilled. From that moment, there was this unspoken tension. Jay looked like he was chasing Nas's crown, while Nas treated him like the younger kid who needed to stay in his lane. And that vibe never disappeared. As you've seen, Jay has a history of trying to one-up Nas, but Nas has a way of stepping back in at the perfect moment to remind everyone Jay ain't invincible. Things really exploded after Biggie's death in '97. With the king of New York gone, the whole city was asking, who's next to wear the crown? That's when their quiet tension turned into an all-out tug of war. Jay positioned himself as the natural heir.
It was met with the disrespect, but I'm really sorry for for the other people involved, the other people involved. Because it was either that or we would see each other somewhere and it would be like, I don't know what happened.
Dropping projects, teaming with big names, building his empire brick by brick. Meanwhile, Nas already had the golden child rep, but his follow-ups weren't hitting like Illmatic. People started whispering he'd fallen off, and Jay wasn't shy about pushing that narrative louder. On tracks like Where I'm From, Jay slipped in subliminals, basically crowning himself the new king of New York. But Nas wasn't letting that slide. He clapped back with his own jabs like on We Will Survive, hinting Jay was trying way too hard to steal Biggie's throne. Fans ate it up, and suddenly the city was split. Brooklyn versus Queens, Jay the hustler turned mogul versus Nas the poet from the projects. This wasn't just rap anymore. It was about who really owned New York's legacy. Everything boiled over in 2001 with 2 tracks that rewrote hip-hop history. Jay finally dropped the mask at Summer Jam and unleashed Takeover. He called Nas out by name, said he only had one classic, and basically told the world his career was dead. The crowd went wild, and for a moment, it looked like Jay had the crown locked. But then came Ether. Nas didn't just respond, he went for blood. He tore at Jay's credibility, his looks, even his whole legacy, line after line. Fans were stunned by how vicious it was. Overnight, the culture flipped. People said Jay got bodied, and ether became slang for destroying someone. That's how brutal it hit. And now, this casino flop feels like deja vu all over again. Calling this Ether Part 2 is an exaggeration. The parallels are crystal clear. Jay came in overconfident, talking big, and Nas swooped in with the win nobody expected. And of course, Jay couldn't take the L quietly. Within days, he fired back with Super Ugly.
What I've been beyond, but they're not. Let's go, let's go.
But instead of keeping it lyrical, he went straight for the jugular, bragging about sleeping with the mother of NAS's daughter. He thought that would score him points, but it backfired bad. Fans weren't impressed, critics weren't impressed, and even Jay's own mom wasn't impressed. She actually made him call Hot 97 to apologize live on air for crossing the line. That moment shifted everything. Suddenly, Jay wasn't the clever mogul. He looked like the aggressor who pushed it too far, while Nas stood tall as a survivor who refused to back down. That shift is why the Jay versus Nas rivalry never fully died. Every time Jay tried to bury him, Nas flipped the script and made Jay look out of touch. But here's the twist. As ugly as it got, the war didn't last forever. After years of brutal disses, the two shocked everyone by squashing it on stage. It happened in 2005 at Jay's I Declare War concert. Fans thought he was about to fire more shots, maybe start new beefs. Instead, he brought Nas out as a surprise guest. The crowd went insane. Two men who once wanted each other's careers destroyed were suddenly standing side by side, shaking hands, performing together. It felt bigger than music. They even went on to collab on tracks like Black Republican and Success. But here's the catch. Even after making peace, that rivalry never truly disappeared. The tension was always under the surface. And now, with this casino drama, it's starting to look like that truce might have just expired. And here's the part nobody's talking about enough. This isn't just Nas versus Jay. This is Queens versus Brooklyn all over again. If you know New York hip-hop history, you already feel it. Brooklyn's always carried that flashy big stage energy. Jay, Biggie, even the Barclays Center. It's about money, power, and image. Queens, that's the underdog borough that birthed LL Cool J, Mobb Deep, Nicki Minaj, and of course, Nas. So when Jay's Times Square dream got shut down in Manhattan and Nas turned around and locked in Queens, the symbolism was too loud to ignore. The streets are saying, Brooklyn fumbled, Queens carried. For fans who lived through the Ether era, it feels like deja vu, history repeating in real time. And that's why this hits Jay so hard. It's not just Nas one-upping him. It's Nas doing it on home turf with the whole city cheering him on. And if there's one thing about Hav, it's that he never forgets humiliation. So maybe this beef won't play out in bars or on stage anymore. Maybe the next round is happening in boardrooms and billion-dollar deals.